What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. August is here, which means it's time to talk about my most anticipated movies of the month. Let me know in the comments before we begin what movies this month you are most looking forward to. As always, this is just a reminder that these will be in chronological order, not ranked by how much I'm anticipating each movie. Also, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like these videos, as it helps me out immensely by getting my channel out there. And if you're new here, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with more movie related content on a near daily basis. But let's not waste any more time, and let's get to the list. Kicking things off is The Suicide Squad. While the DCEU has been wildly inconsistent to say the least, I do have a lot of faith in James Gunn, and I think this will be an absolute blast. There are only so many directors who I've seen who've yet to miss, and for me, so far he's one of them, and I think he's going to do these characters justice. I felt like the original Suicide Squad in 2016 was DC's attempt at mimicking Gunn's own Guardians of the Galaxy, though to much lesser results, even though I don't think it's quite as bad as everyone says it is. But now they have Gunn himself to correct course as far as that goes, featuring an all-star cast, a seemingly wacky sense of humor, and plenty of over-the-top violence to go around. This has the potential to be one of the DCEU's best entries, if not the best, and it hits theaters and HBO Max on the 5th. Annette stars Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard as a stand-up comedian and his opera singer wife who have a 2-year-old daughter with a surprising gift. This is directed by Leo Carax, whose previous work I'm unfamiliar with, though to my understanding it's been noted for being a bit strange. And that's basically the vibe I'm getting from this. This just had its premiere at Cannes last month, and the reactions seem to indicate that despite 2 notable leads, it's weird, experimental, and against the grain. And the trailer seems to confirm all that, as it looks to be all over the place. But it's received plenty of positive reviews from the festival. It is a musical, which for me is a big plus, and at the very least, it seems to be beautifully filmed. So I think we'll be in for quite the ride. This gets a limited theatrical release on the 6th, followed by an Amazon Prime release on the 20th. Vivo stars Lin-Manuel Miranda as the voice of the title character, who has a love for music and must deliver a love letter to his owner's old partner in the form of a song, and he gets some help from a young girl who also shares a love for music. Similar to The Mitchells vs. the Machines, this is another film this year that was originally meant for a theatrical release via Sony, only for them to sell it to Netflix for a streaming release due to the pandemic. Now, I'm always a sucker for musicals, which is something I didn't fully realize this was until I saw the trailer, so that did push this a little higher on my radar. And it's brought to us by Kirk D'Amico, one half of the creative team behind the first Croods movie, which I enjoyed. Now, it does look like it'll be a little cheesy and overly sentimental, but if the songs are strong enough, I think it'll be fine, so I'm looking forward to it. This is Netflix on the 6th. Coda stars Emilia Jones as Ruby, the only hearing person in her deaf family. When the family's fishing business is threatened, Ruby finds herself torn between pursuing her love of music and her fear of abandoning her parents. This one's been on my radar since the beginning of the year, since it premiered at Sundance, where it received critical acclaim and was sold to Apple for a festival record $25 million. So clearly Apple has a lot of faith in this. My one thing, having now seen the trailer, is that it does seem to have a pretty conventional plot, which, based off the reviews I've read, does seem to be its biggest drawback. But it's also noted that where its strengths truly lie are with Emilia Jones' performance. So we shall see. And this hits Apple TV Plus on the 13th. Don't Breathe 2 sees Stephen Lang reprise his role as Norman Nordstrom, who's taken in and raised a young girl orphaned from a house fire. Their quiet existence is shattered, though, when a group of kidnappers show up and take the girl, forcing Norman to leave his safe haven to save her. Now, I love the original Don't Breathe. It was eerie, atmospheric, thrilling, and absolutely twisted. But granted, I wasn't exactly expecting a sequel to actually happen, despite talks of it going on for quite some time. But I'm open to seeing what can happen. While I am disappointed that the first film's director, Fede Alvarez, isn't returning, and this does seem to take an unlikable character from the first film and try to turn him into someone more sympathetic here, I am curious to see if this does have any surprises up its sleeve. And considering this is co-written and directed by Rodo Sayagues, who co-wrote the first film with Alvarez, that might just be the case. So I'm willing to give it a shot. This hits theaters on the 13th. Free Guy sees Ryan Reynolds as a minor character in a video game who becomes aware of his world being a video game, and he looks to make himself the hero before his world is shut down. Another film heavily delayed by the pandemic, having moved around multiple times, it's finally here. Now, my expectations for this weren't exactly too high to begin with, to be quite honest, so with all the delays, it hasn't really done much in terms of lowering or increasing said expectations, but I think this should, at the very least, be some good old-fashioned summer blockbuster fun, between the charismatic Reynolds, some stylish visuals, and Night at the Museum director Sean Levy at the helm. So, again, we'll see. This hits theaters on the 13th. Respect tells the life story of legendary R&B singer Aretha Franklin, here played by Jennifer Hudson, and this is yet another movie delayed heavily due to the pandemic. While this doesn't seem like it's going to do much to distinguish itself from other biopics, I am still genuinely intrigued by this one, as the initial plan for this was to release in December of last year for an awards run. Now, while the move to August rather than another December release did strike me as a bit off-putting, I do think there will still be some sort of push for Jennifer Hudson, who seems like she's giving it her all here. While I'm not expecting anything too different from your standard biopic, this looks like it'll still be a polished, well-made film that will serve as a nice tribute to the legendary Franklin, and this hits theaters on the 13th. Demonic focuses on a young woman who unleashes terrifying demons when supernatural forces at the root of a decades-old rift between mother and daughter are ruthlessly revealed. This is written and directed by Neil Blomkamp, who burst onto the scene with the critical and commercial hit District 9, though has since had a bit of a difficult time recapturing the magic of that film. Though I will say, I did like Elysium, and even Chappie wasn't that bad, even if nowhere near as good as District 9. Now this marks his first foray into horror, while still blending the usual sci-fi he's known for, and it contained probably one of my favorite lines I'll probably hear all year in a movie, which is, "The Vatican has been funding a Black Ops team," so that seems to tell me all I need to know about this one. I'm hoping this will be able to get somewhere close to District 9, but like with anything else, we'll have to wait and see. So this hits theaters on the 20th. The Night House stars Rebecca Hall as a widow who begins to uncover her recently deceased husband's disturbing secrets, and this is directed by David Bruckner, whose previous work I'm not familiar with, but this is another Sundance release, though going back to Sundance 2020, where it received positive reviews, but due to the pandemic, Searchlight Pictures sat on it until this year, and it seems interesting. I thought the trailer did a very good job of not revealing much, while still managing to hook us in, with its tense atmosphere being put on display. As a big horror fan, I'm very intrigued by this. I really don't know what else to say, considering the idea seems to be to know as little as possible going in, so we'll just leave it there. But I am excited, and this hits theaters on the 20th. And finally, Candyman is a direct sequel to the original film that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. Now, I've actually never seen the original Candyman movie, which is something I plan on rectifying this month, but I'm still really intrigued by this one. For one thing, it does look absolutely terrifying, and two, it's directed by Nia DaCosta, who gave us one of 2019's most underrated films with her debut, Little Woods, which was an incredibly compelling crime thriller. While this will be a huge jump in terms of scale, I'm really looking forward to see what she can pull off here. Throw in a talented cast led by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II and Teyonah Parris, and we should have a great way to round out the summer. This hits theaters on the 27th. And that's what we have to look forward to in August. It should be a fun month, and while it's not quite as stacked as July was, that has always been the case every year, but hopefully it'll keep things on the up and up. So stay tuned for reviews of these films and much more coming soon. But let me know, what movies are you looking forward to in August? Was it anything I listed here? Was it something I left off? Let me know in the comments below so we can discuss. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it, and for more movie reviews and film discussion, please make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated. Thanks for watching everyone, and keep having fun with film.